Oh, we're back. Are we back? Uh, Hello, everyone. Sorry about that. Um, what did I miss? Oh my God. What did I tell you guys? I knew knight c4. I didn't even need to see the game to know that's what was gonna happen. And then Phoebe takes, and of course, not queen takes, but pawn takes. Now Phoebe's going to bring the queen in to f4. Guys, I had to turn the camera off for just a moment just to get Phoebe back on track. Truly, we're cooking. We're so back, baby, dude. The stream is back and Phoebe's back. Yeah, we're good. We're good to go. Did I fire my roommate? No, not yet. you, might, you might have to apologize. No, it's funny because I was like, "Hey, did our internet die?" And he's like, "I just got off the phone with them." And I was like, "Oh God." Anywho, it's okay. Well, a quick tour. So I've never been. It looks nice from what I've seen, but honestly, you guys, ooh, she goes back. It likes Queen E7 best, but it likes Queen F4. It also likes Queen C7. Phoebe is very much in this game. She's actually up a pawn. Dare I say she's winning, you guys. Also, let's just hope she doesn't play E5. E5 would be, well, there's a knight in the way right now, but this knight is blocking our rook. Anyways, I'm very excited not only to be back on stream, but to be back in this game. I knew that D6 was going to be a blunder. I mean, it was creative. I'll just keep saying creative. I shouldn't keep saying creative because then when I say something's creative, people will just be like, "Oh, Joe's being mean." Um, just maybe it helped. Uh, no, I honestly do feel bad, so I apologize. Um, but you know, the internet can be a fickle thing sometimes, and yeah, hopefully that doesn't happen again. So we should be good though. It was a bit too creative, Johannes. Yeah. You don't like Phoebe's position, Sam? Just wait till you saw what it looked like just 3 moves ago. Right here. This is what it was, and this is what it is. So great intermezzo by Phoebe. E5, definitely a very interesting move. Now if Phoebe takes, there's knight takes. But yeah, this e-pawn is the source of all of our problems, really. We never got in e5, and then this diagonal became very strong, so we played e6. And then for some reason we played f6, making Ben Feingold upset somewhere. Phoebe needs to play the Jobava low key with the black pieces, Sam. That's your solution. Goodbye, chat. Take care, Mars. Thanks for being here. Time has been a struggle for sure. Opponent has about 50 minutes in advantage on the clock. But Phoebe, she is a world-renowned speed chess player. She has ice in her veins. You could tell she's got some. We saw Phoebe was looking pretty down, pretty beat up. I have to admit it, even myself. Phoebe looked sad, just to put it shortly. And oh my God, the video feed is so far behind. Hold on. Can I get a live? live look at things here. I mean, even back where she had that intermezzo, she was looking much more positive. Here we can see she's a bit perked up, a bit more attentive. She's leaning forward. But yes, she is feeling the time pressure. She's got to feel nervous. And I think that could play in her advantage. Hear me out, you guys. Opponent might be playing fast because she's in time pressure. And when you play fast, you can make mistakes. And the opponent has already made some mistakes. I would say D6 was the beginning. Not taking the knight intermezzo. Playing knight C4 a little too early. And Phoebe wisely was able to find the check intermezzo, and now opponent has already kind of damaged their pawn structure. Now this next move, this is a good move, right? We're fixing the e-pawn and putting pressure on f6. It's why it liked queen e7 maybe slightly better than queen to c7. So yeah, these rooks are very nicely placed here in the center. This bishop has yet to move. This rook has yet to move. And we're on move 25 here. And honestly, Phoebe knows better. I think she's just being a bit nervous. I think she's also tired from the earlier round or from the tournament. This is round 8. Johanna saying that he needs to slow down. So let's see. Let's see what he comes up with here. Probably knight takes. F5 seemed a better try. So yeah, probably best was F5. But F takes, this is second best move. And yeah, I mean, we're still looking better than where we were. You need queen e7. Yeah, definitely Phoebe could bring the queen around towards this king side for sure, but maybe white uses the g file for their rooks. And yeah, f5 would have offered us some more protection, I think, for our king. Having the g pawn exposed could be a problem. This knight doesn't have a great prospect. Like these pieces are pretty sad. I will not lie to you. So I'm still a little worried. So knight takes. And yeah, like this is immediate pressure, right, on these light squares. We're never taking this knight. Hopefully Phoebe does not take, because bishop takes, and we're going to be in some pain, I imagine. So Phoebe's going to have to work around this. Maybe she plays knight. I'm like wondering if there's a sacrifice already. This knight defends the pawn. But yeah, it's like where are these pieces ever going, you know? So maybe Phoebe will go for b6 or c5, b6. Both idea. I mean, this diagonal would be beautiful. We could see the turn of this bishop from worst to first. If I just keep drawing arrows, maybe it'll help you guys believe in the power of Phoebe's potential. The top engine move is rook to d8. Trying to trade. Any tips on getting better in chess? My advice is to keep playing and review your games afterwards, for sure. Yeah, the one major downside about being really low on the clock is if you've made your move and your opponent's thinking, you never really know when you could like take a break, get up and walk around. You're kind of tied to the board. So it's a bit unfortunate. Phoebe on the clock here, she's really gotta just make a move. I think these pawn pushes are kind of interesting. Yeah, knight d7. There's knight takes g6, which is pretty brutal. If takes, then queen d3. Let's see what happens here, and then rook takes e6. That's also pretty brutal. Let's see. Then queen g6. Oof. The odds of that happening though are pretty low, I'd say. But I think the last time I said that about c4 is when it happened. To be fair, c4 and knight takes g6 are two different caliber moves. But yeah, Phoebe under 5 minutes here. We're going to be all glued to our seats, on the edge of our seats. I mean, Phoebe's leaned forward. And really, Phoebe, this, as I said, it could be a strategy. She has liberated herself from having too much time, truly. Having too much time on your clock can be a burden. It can be too much, you know. Who needs it, really? I mean, Phoebe, she just, all she needs is 1 second on the clock to make her move. And here we go. She's ready. Queen to e7. And now she's ready. She's in checking position, actually. So the computer did not actually like this move. And why might that be? I don't know. Computer likes rook d4. Queen g5 and h5. And h5. But yeah, activity. I think it's like, it's these pieces I'm worried about for Phoebe. But I mean, the knight's obviously perfectly placed for white. And so we'll see if white is able to really like maximize the value of their position and their potential by bringing the rooks in. Like king h1 to play here makes a lot of sense, right? Ooh, f4. This is a very reactionary move, and I feel like this is pretty common for what we've been seeing from the opponent. Maybe Phoebe brings the queen into h4. Yeah, computer likes rook d8 best still, trying to trade things off the board. Yeah, Kako, and I think that's something that a lot of beginner players don't really do or think about very much, but is something that is like critical. If you're to be a good chess player, you have to think on your opponent's turn, right? Because a lot of people... Oh, the video is buffering again. I'm having flashbacks. I'm scared my internet's gonna crash on me again, but no. Uh-oh. That's a blunder, but it's because of knight takes g6. And as you and I all know, that's not going to be played. Trust me, guys. I know it says double question mark blunder. I know it's saying it's over +5, but that's only if he takes on g6. All right, and there's nothing to worry about, you guys. We're fine. We're fine. Nothing to see here. Just ignore it. Missed. He will not play this. Listen, if his own son doesn't believe in him, Who would no? Knight takes G6. Okay, we'll see. Hey, listen, listen. Let's give the guy his chance. You know, he's got 54 minutes to 3 minutes to see it. So honestly, it would be really good to see if he pulls that off. Joe versus the whole family. You don't believe it either, PMD. Um, yeah, I mean, even okay, like let's say he does take, then I mean, we could play. I don't know. I guess then there's like bishop here. It's pretty brutal. So we can only wait and see. That's truly all we can do, and that's exactly what Phoebe's doing. Would knight takes g6 even cross the opponent's mind? Don't cheer for him to play. Did I come across as cheering for him? I apologize. Ultimately, though, I will say this: like, as much of a fan of Phoebe as I am, I'm also a fan of good chess. So, if we see the move played, of course, it's devastating for Phoebe. That being said, the game is not over if White plays that. But I am a appreciator of good chess. So if the opponent plays the best move, then ultimately good for him. And also, when I play someone, I hope they play the best moves because I feel I deserve their best. So sometimes, and I'm sure some of you have felt this as well. Have you guys ever been tilted because you're playing against someone that you know you're better than, and yet they're still beating you? And you're like, oh my god, they have mate in two or something, and then they don't play it, and it upsets you even worse than had they played mate in two. You're like, this guy can't even play the best move, and he's still beating me. My apologies, Sam. You don't get beat. My commentary, Sam, is for us mortal humans, not for chess gods such as yourself. Jolo wants to win no matter the circumstances. We want bad chess from our opponents. Joe switching sides. You think he plays bishop b1 or queen to c2? What if he just takes? That'd be great. Wow, YOLO. That's brutal. 4 out of 9. Who gives out the yellow cards in this situation? Can Sam give yellow cards to Derp, or does Derp give yellow cards to Sam? Usually it's the mods, right? It's the mods that decide. There's Kako's yellow card. What is Phoebe's standing? She is 2 out of 7. Only Phoebe gives out the cards? You guys receive them, that's true. Who has more? Is there a record? Red card? There's a list? There's only 3 for it says spam. Is that Sam's name? Spam? Why doesn't Derp have a number? Oh, is it just 1? So spam and fly are at 3? That doesn't seem right. Yeah, I think it's a good nickname, Fly. All right, Phoebe, she's looking off into the distance here. But yeah, like when it's your opponent's turn, people just kind of wait. They kind of are waiting to see, and then they react. But the beautiful thing about chess is that all the information is there for both sides. You can really look and see and predict what your opponent will do or should do or could do, and use that to already plan your next move or moves, your plan of action. And Phoebe looks like she's dissociating right now. Oh, thank you, Screws. I don't know if I agree with that, but you're being very kind. He's definitely going to find it. I don't think so. Do you think he's looking at it? What's he looking at? I don't know. Yeah, Phoebe's sitting back. She's just waiting. And yeah, this is the reality. When you're low on time, you just have to wait around. But yeah, I really hope that I mean she I don't think she sees knight g6 unless she's a very good actor. Because if you see a move like knight g6, it's kind of like you got to lean forward a bit. You assume the position. And I'm not talking about on the board. You just, I mean, I'm not gonna like be upset that she didn't see knight g6 before she played knight d7, but it's more so like now that you've played knight d7 and your opponent is using a lot of time, maybe Phoebe has a plan like, okay, if obviously knight takes d7, she's going to take back with the bishop, right? That's no brainer. She probably has it pre-moved, easy peasy, right? But Phoebe should be considering, okay, well, what are White's other options, right? There's a lot of things they could do besides taking on d7. The question I want to ask is, do you take White's knight on e5? Do you move your knight to f6? How are you getting your bishop out, right? Like, are you playing for c5? I don't know. Does Phoebe? I mean, if I don't know, I guess who would know, really? But these are things that you can think about. My point is that you don't need to wait for your opponent to make their move before you decide, right? The risky thing is when you have 3 minutes is deciding after your opponent's made a move, because if your opponent makes a move that is the first time you've calculated it is after you've seen it, then that means that you're missing things, right? Joe and Hans. Uh-oh, you're onto something there, Screws. Let's hope he offers a draw. No. I mean, Phoebe could still win this, you guys. Let's see. I mean, he has his hand up. I think he's getting closer to a decision. He might take on g6. And I'm just hoping that that's, not the first time that Phoebe will see it, right? But maybe she's playing it cool. Maybe she's not trying to give anything away. Maybe she's like, I'm just going to try to look bored and like make him feel pressure of playing slowly, even though she's been the one using all of her time. Make him feel bad for taking such a long time. He's never going to take this, Johannes. So after the game, are you going to show him? I think it's something you always just have to calculate. And the thing is about that capture is that it just takes a couple moves before it pays out, I guess. It's not just a one-move tactic. It's a multi-move tactic, right? If you find knight g6, you're going to have to see so many more captures. There's rook takes e6 here. Which is kind of a funny idea. What else is there? We mentioned queen d3 is a move. And then taking on e6, I think. but okay. Yeah, if rook takes... Yeah, this would be bad. So they need queen to g3 check. Discovery here. So we'll see. It's like a multi-move sacrifice plan. Honestly, really pretty position for white, and you can see now they say tactics flow from a superior position. And white's position is superior because of their piece placement, their development, right? Phoebe can't afford to get behind in development, right? The pieces were never moved from their starting squares. These poor things. So Phoebe's trying to trade the knight, right? Like, this move is logical, but tactically it's vulnerable. And that can be very hard to see sometimes. Because, you know, it looks like the pawn's defended, right? You don't want to lose the knight. So, yeah, this guy, his senses might be tingling. It looks like he might be looking at that king. But here's another thing though. If you play a move like a knight sacrifice to expose the king, you have to know for sure that it's paying out. And he could be nervous because he's already kind of given up that pawn, right? And it didn't quite work as he planned. And so now he's thinking, like, can I really give up a knight? Like, what if it doesn't work out? Then I'm just going to be down a knight. And he knows his position's good, right? That's not something that you want to squander. So if he plays this move, he better be 100% confident in himself to do it. But the beauty is that he's got a ton of time. Like, I think it looks like he's looking at it. And Phoebe is quite literally not looking at it. Oh, now she might be. Oh, now she's looking at him. Like I said, this could be classic, like, you know, misdirection. Oh, he's pointing. He's straight up calculating. He's got the pinky finger out now. That's not a good sign. When the pinky finger comes out, oh, he brought it back. So I don't even know if Phoebe noticed, because that could be very telegraphed. That could be helpful. No, she's like literally not. Oh. No, I think she's like kind of over with it. I think she feels done. Sandbag. I don't know if I know the 32 famous players. I mean, I think he's looking at it. I think he's calculating it. But I think he doesn't have it worked out all the way through. her biceps. Dude, this is why PMD needs to do more commentary. Also, PMD, people want to see your camera turned on. They need more PMD content. You're depriving the fans truly of what they want. I don't know if they deserve it, but they certainly want it. The question is, will PMD give the fans what they want? Bleeding protons? You're guessing he sees knight takes, but not queen g3? Knight takes. Phoebe's got 3 minutes to decide if she takes the knight or not. And the best move is to not take, but to play queen f7. And the problem with queen f7 is there's bishop to b1, which is pretty annoying. So at that point, she should play king to g8. And yeah, I mean, this is why we don't want to push these pawns, right? The g pawn is now only defended by the king, and that is a very big sign of vulnerability for tactics. Like, for example, I like to play the Italian with the white pieces, and it's because the bishop on c4 points at the f7 square, which we saw was a weakness in Phoebe's position after she had played rook e8. Okay, he's got his finger up. Look at this guy. I think that's the beauty of having the time, is he can really use it. Like, and like, massive credit to him if he plays this, because no one was believing in him, even his own son. And yet he could prove all of us wrong and do it. And it takes a lot of skill and confidence and calculation, truly. So even though we're all cheering for Phoebe, except for perhaps Johannes Jr., I think we can be proud in our opponent if this is something that they normally wouldn't do, but are now capable of doing it. So even if it comes at the expense of Phoebe's position, I think I like to see people succeed in general. But of course, I mean, he might psych himself out. He might be missing something. And I think that's what he's doing. He's like, am I missing something? He's double checking everything. So we'll see if he ends up playing it. I think he sees it and he's been looking at it. And I think Phoebe's trying to play it cool. Yeah, his pinky's out again. The WSICC. What is that? If he loses, he's going to be pissed. I mean, that's fair. Oh, he's a bad loser. That's not good. Okay, well, hopefully he's also not a sore winner. Phoebe's next commentary job? WSICC? Bunny Pickle fan. I mean, maybe you're both his son. How many children does this guy have in the chat alone? Okay, he's leaning back. He's taking a breath. He's like, am I really going to play this move? Oh my goodness. There it is, folks. He's done it. And now Phoebe on the clock. We got a double X-Clam brilliancy. Defying the odds. Props to him. He's figured it out. So now Phoebe's getting tacticked on. And does she take? Does she take? If she takes, then as we had pointed out, there's a couple of bad moves. But yeah, she should play. The best is queen f7. How surprised does she look? I would say that she doesn't actually look like she's reacting that much. But of course she's going to have to make a move in the next 2 minutes. So the question is to take or not to take. And this is a big moment. So great move by the opponent for sure. Something to be proud of, definitely. Kako gifting to Johannes' son, Johannes Jr. So I heard a saying once from Ben Feingold where he said, never play f6. But I also heard him say that if your opponent is sacrificing on you, you should accept it, because if it doesn't work, then you're up a piece. And if it does work, your opponent had already been outplaying you, and you're probably going to lose. You're just going to be down the material they sacrificed for, and their attack's going to get stronger. Now, that being said, the computer is saying there's a lot of things we should do besides taking the knight. So one of those moves actually is knight to c5. But yeah, okay, so king takes, and now the question is, the best follow-up is rook takes followed by queen g3. Okay, so pawn f5 check. And now the king can return to h7. So he found the right start, but he didn't find the follow-up. And he's played this pretty quickly. Now, Phoebe should not take with the pawn, obviously, and I don't think she will. And she really shouldn't take with the king, because then there's going to be checkmate many different ways. So, like queen to d3, queen to f3, bishop to b1. So let's see if she plays king of h7. King back to h7, Phoebe. And then you're back to being safe again, actually. Does the brilliant move become less brilliant if you fumble the follow-up? I think in a way, yes, it does. She's got 30 seconds, by the way. Let's see it, Phoebe. King back. Just bring the king. Oh, hold on. She's played an illegal move. Oh. He's raised his hand. So does this mean that he'll have time added to his clock? I think in a blitz game you can claim the win. In a classical game, I think there's a penalty. And I think Phoebe has had okay, they're coming to some agreement. I don't know. He's calling over an arbiter. But yeah, I'm unsure of the penalties, if there are any. So they're discussing. They're saying that she's in check, and then she played an illegal move. Okay, so now here's another thing, you guys. This is very important. Now, in the event that you play an illegal move, she's touched her queen. So if she could play the queen legally, she would be required to play the queen. Now, there's only two legal pieces she could get out of check with. She can move the king, or she can take the pawn. Luckily, she didn't touch the pawn, right? She touched the queen. So it looks to me like they're likely adding some time to his clock. I don't think they would remove time from Phoebe's clock. I mean, she barely has any time to begin with. But usually you don't add. And he looks like he's shaking his head. I think he's maybe upset the penalty wasn't worse than it was. I don't know. But looks like they're back on it. She needs to bring her king back. And she's done it. She's done the best move. And he basically squandered his brilliant knight sacrifice. And this is the second time we've seen he's played a a sacrifice. Like earlier it was d6 and it didn't work out. Now Phoebe's up a whole piece. Now there is like rook takes, for example, but I think Phoebe can maybe bring her queen back. Or again, she does have a check, right? So there are ways that Phoebe gets out of this. Okay, bishop takes g7, and also it's very important to know this could be a very tilting experience when you spent a ton of time on a knight sacrifice, and it takes a lot of confidence to do something like that, and then to blunder. He might not know that he blundered, but to see that the opponent is getting let off the hook, especially after making an illegal move, I think this is the best position Phoebe's had in a long time. So trading bishops is very helpful for Phoebe. It alleviates a lot of pressure. She gets a check in, so this helps with the move. And now she needs to open up her bishop again. I think she needs to move the knight. So the pawn is pinned, as we can still see. Phoebe's got less than 30 seconds, and I think she's going to be in that state for a while. Knight e5 is also a good move. Let's see if Phoebe moves the knight. Okay, she pushes the pawn. I was thinking this would be a move. So now rook g1 is a little scary. What's funny about these knight moves is that if rook to g1, maybe she has knight g4 threatening mate. I am a little curious. Knight f6, knight g4, and now what if like queen here? E takes. Okay. Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, so she's pushed the pawn. But now rook to g1, which he has played. And now Phoebe's queen has to move. So yeah, she should go to f8. If she goes to f6, there's rook d6. That's brutal, huh? Trying to distract the queen from queen check. Yeah. Okay, so queen f8. She's played the best move. Phoebe is in a fight or flight response right now. What's up, Chess Weeb? Yes, go Phoebe. I'm doing well. Sounds like Harvard's doing all right. We're pretty guys, listen. We've been dying, but Phoebe's surviving. All right? This guy, he's given up a knight, and he's not able to convert. I do not have confidence that the opponent can convert. So we've seen him squander before. I imagine f6 can't be that bad. I mean, I think the knight's coming. She should have played knight f6 a move earlier. It's very difficult to see that you can self-pin. And then, like, I mean, also, like, another thing is when you're up a piece, the luxury is that you can give a piece back, right? So losing a piece and you're back to even material, actually. I mean, it's all very difficult to maneuver with less than a minute on your clock. So this game is far from over. I think Phoebe has a chance that maybe she gets this pawn. I mean, she's attacking it with the queen right now. But the best move is queen g3. Ooh, queen in to f7 check. So the computer actually hates this move. And the opponents played this with over 30 minutes on the clock. So Phoebe should take. And she does. And now she should play rook to f8. There's like one check, and that's okay. She has king h8. And here's a general rule of thumb. When you are attacking, you don't want to trade queens. And when your king is very exposed, you want to trade queens. And we all know Phoebe's favorite move is to trade queens. And she's done exactly just that. And now Phoebe's absolutely in the clear. She's played the best move, rook f8, bishop to e6, attacking the knight twice. Lord knows Phoebe sees it. So, I mean, you could you could go to d8, but let's pray that she just moves the knight to f6. She does. Guys, listen, Phoebe, she's never been better. Phoebe's back in it. And oh my god. She's doing it, guys. She's up a piece. She's up a knight. She's got the energy back. You can see she's revitalized. I mean, she can breathe a sigh of relief here. The most worried we were was knight takes g6. And you know what? We invited it. We said, go ahead. Do your worst. And he did it. And guess what? It's backfired. This man is now down a knight, traded the queens off, and now he's the one in the hot seat fighting to survive. Rook down to d6. And now Phoebe has to change gears here. She's got less than 20 seconds. Ooh, okay. This is still fine. This is still fine. And what may be the problem with this? So there could be a trade on c8. And then what does it want? Rook d7, check. King to h8, and then rook g to g7, threatening mate. That seems pretty good. But yeah, opponent used their time when they needed to find knight g6, but they didn't find what they needed to follow up. And now opponent, I think, is on tilt and is playing to Phoebe's time pressure, but it's been paying off for Phoebe tenfold. And opponent continues to play subpar moves. And now Phoebe can make the first move of her light squared bishop on move 37 to trade bishops. Guys, I don't want to jinx Phoebe, but I might have to commentate for her every game now if she pulls this off. We had people in the chat saying there's no way out of this. There's no way back. People didn't believe. And yet, here we are. This rook might make its first move. Although the computer's saying best move is rook f to d8. It's funny, if you play rook a d8, you're getting forked. Wait, but there's knight takes. Oh, but it's a discovery. Brutal stuff, but he threw it all. Johannes is crying. We could ask PMD. The Joe effect is real. What's up, Zach? Good to see you, dude. I'm doing well. I'm watching Phoebe pull off a miracle comeback. Let's not flag Phoebe. You've got 5 seconds. Is that right? Holy smokes. Rook A to E8. That's the move I wanted. Interestingly, there's this crazy idea. If you block, there's rook takes knight, which is really upsetting. This game is so far from over, you guys. I don't want to jinx Phoebe. But with this time pressure, there's a lot of ways to blunder. That's a rook check. She could blunder right now, by the way, with rook to e7, allowing rook takes knight. But she could also not blunder, and she could move her king. She could block with the knight as well, but best is king to g6, and we're bringing the king over, actually, to attack this pawn. All right, let's look at Phoebe. 5 seconds. Oh, she might get lost on time. Oh, king g6, best move. She's getting checked, but she's getting checked into a favorable spot. King f6, and you're winning the pawn. Come on, Phoebe. Come on. She sees it. She's there. 50 seconds. As the opponent plays faster, she's gaining more time. It's playing directly into her favor. And she didn't blunder. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. If there's ever a time to rally, now is the time. Do you feel the momentum? You're not mating her on the board. You're not flagging her. So here you are, down a knight. White can take some pawns, but Phoebe's going to get them right back. Rook over. Phoebe could go rook h8, but I think she just takes the pawn. Just take the pawn. And watch your time. 30 seconds. There she goes. And now she can block with the rook. And honestly, I think taking the h pawn is a mistake, because I think the rook taking the b pawn was much better. So now she can block. And also more trades are better as well. And she can double on the f file if there isn't a trade. She could also move the king, but I think just rook f6. And she's done it. She's playing lights out right now. She's been playing the best move ever since the queen trade. And that's exactly what Phoebe needed. Why look for more when there's a queen trade? It's been all Phoebe since the queen trade. You guys wonder why she likes the queen trade so much. It's never done her wrong. Ever. What's up, Clossimos? Hi, Narkfolds. Oh my goodness, guys. This might just be one of the craziest Phoebe games of all time. The drama. I mean, Phoebe... Oh man, he's shaking his head. He knows. He's upset. He's like, how did I let it get to this? Which tourney is this? This is the Split Open. All right, and now he's going back to the 7th rank. I think rook e7. Phoebe should guard her pawns. She does exactly just that. She could take on f2, but there's no rush. Rook to e7. And she's going for the win, guys. She knows. So white has to either trade rooks or give up the f-pawn. So they keep the rook on, which I think is safe and smart. But now Phoebe can take on f2. She could take on b4. She's got options. I think take on f2. We love a rook on the 2nd rank. She should take on f2. She could double on the f-file. And she's got a minute. She takes on b4. Rachel, thank you so much for the raid. Thank you, and welcome in, everybody. This is one of the most dramatic Phoebe games we have yet to see. Phoebe was getting crushed. The position was looking quite dire, and yet she's brought it all the way back. Here we have her knight under attack, she has a couple of options here. She can defend the knight with the rook or with the pawn, or she can move the knight simply. All great options. You can't take this, Johannes. What's up, Matt? Thank you for the raid. Shout out to Houseline. Hope you guys had a great stream. Always good to see you all. Oh, thank you, Nora. Appreciate that. Are you a famous chess player too, Liron? No, I would say no. And definitely don't believe anyone that tells you otherwise. If I'm famous for anything, my claim to fame would be that I have a VIP badge in Phoebe's Twitch chat. It's probably the most famous thing I'd be known for. Okay, so the knight moves with a threat on the pawn. And what I would love to see is Phoebe playing a move like rook to g7. Sam is also famous, it's true. What's up, Rob? Have I played Magnus Carlsen? No, but I have played in a tournament with Magnus Carlsen. You're about to play tomorrow, Walker? Very nice. Good luck. In that chess.com event? Which one? Okay, what has opponent played? What? Oh, he just picked up it's in his hand. He hasn't played. I'm like looking at the board. It's like rook b6. I'm looking at the physical board. I'm like, there's no rook on b6. He's just holding on to it for keepsaking. He overlooked the rook. He didn't touch the pawn, did he? You know this dude's watching the... He's either watching the stream or he's watching the events page because he's like, oh, this guy just broke the stream. Because it's saying Phoebe's about to flag right now. But he hasn't hit his clock because he hasn't made his move. It's still White's turn. He didn't touch that pawn, did he? Did he put that rook down? Okay, he's moved the king. Oh my god, Phoebe, do you have forced mate? It's mate in 2, guys. Rook g7 check. If king here, rook takes, and that's mate. And if king here, knight takes his mate. She's got mate in 2. Rook g7. Wait, did they resign? Oh my goodness. Phoebe completing the biggest comeback perhaps of all time. Huge win, PMD. Pay attention. Guys, Phoebe's done it when all hope was seemingly lost. Action replay. He just toppled his king. I thought he played king g1. And there goes his tape. Wow. What a game. What a nerve-wracking game. So Phoebe improves to 3 out of 8. Yeah, I've only seen Phoebe win. Not to brag or anything. Okay. We'll have a call. We'll see. So stick around. I'm gonna try getting her on the call when she's ready. But yeah, we'll look at this game real quick for those of you that maybe tuned in a little late or missed it. We had a Fianchetto and a kingside castle. And now Phoebe, she doesn't play e5 right away. And now after c4, e5 isn't possible because the bishop is opened up. And so Phoebe's position has become pretty cramped, actually. And from there, it's just been a struggle. F7 now is a weak point. So Phoebe prevents knight g5. And now after queen b3, she's forced to play e6. And now white is really dictating the play. Phoebe is very cramped and shuffling her pieces with what little space she has. And now opponent gives Phoebe an out here, giving up the pawn for a failed tactic, really. And now Phoebe, again, is in a much worse position here, where she plays knight to d7, allowing for this tactic, knight takes g6, which is absolutely crushing. Opponent finds it. Double exclam brilliancy. And opponent failed to find the follow-up. The idea is to play rook takes e6, forking the king and the queen. And after queen takes e6, there's queen to g3 check, which is a discovery on the queen. So that's one way. You could also play queen to g3 check, king to h7, and then there's still rook takes e6 with the bishop. Would be a very strong tactic as well. But the opponent followed through with f5. Phoebe brings the king back to h7. And after the trade, Phoebe was lights out, especially after this queen trade. So after the queens were traded off, Phoebe played absolutely marvelously here, finally opening up for her bishop, opening up for her rook, Phoebe not falling for a blunder, and winning the pawn, saving her king, saving her pawns, and ultimately winning the game with her rooks and her extra knight. So what a marvelous game. Phoebe got down to like less than 5 seconds, I think multiple times, and yet she had the win in her hands from start to finish. I wasn't even nervous, not even just once. Wonder what an awesome game. But yeah, credit as well to our opponent Johannes. He played a really fantastic game, finding knight g6. I mean, a marvelous start. Couldn't ask for more. It just came down to the tactics, right? And I think the time pressure situation played in Phoebe's favor in that he thought he could maybe pressure her and flag her and get her to make a mistake. And yet, in the pressure, she shined like a diamond. And that's exactly what it takes to make diamonds, is pressure. Phoebe was in the hot seat and she rose to the occasion like a phoenix. And honestly, really an inspiring game, and hopefully a game that she can build off of, get some momentum. Here we go. Hi, Phoebe.
Hello. How's it going?
It's going well. That was an incredible game.
I I was so about to resign at some point. I was so not having my day. I was like after this morning and I'm so tired and the game is not going well. I was like, about to resign. Um but then I was like, no, no, I'll wait a little. Um but yeah, that was yeah. I don't know. I totally I feel like I yeah, I don't know what to say to be honest.
Well, that's okay because you just had an absolute roller coaster of a ride. Obviously, as you had mentioned, you're tired. Your first game today wasn't how maybe you wanted it to go, but this game also wasn't going how you wanted it to go, and yet somehow, some way, you stuck with it. You didn't give up. You fought till the end, and you were able to overcome and still get the win. And we're
Mhm.
all so proud of you for sticking through it. And we had definitely a lot of believers, but we also had some doubters. And I think you proved all of them
Oh,
wrong.
that's what I do it for, to prove the doubters wrong.
Well, there was I don't know if you know, your opponent has a son that's also playing in the event.
Yes, yes, I saw he is in my Discord, but we haven't had a chance yet to say hello. But I did see him today.
Yeah,
Oh, we have a mermaid in the chat,
you've got
but he
fans
has
from
been
all over the
gone for
world.
very long. Yeah. Um, but yeah, I so I made an illegal move. Um, totally accidental, but I think yeah, we got a little bit in an argument there.
Yeah, I was actually saying it's quite lucky that you touched the queen instead of like the pawn or something, because then you're forced to make the queen move if you have a legal queen move, but you didn't. So, do you want to tell us like what did the arbiter do with the clock? Did they give extra time to your opponent?
Yeah, so I wasn't sure. So after the game, I asked the arbiter. Um, I was like, what is the like what is the rule? Like what happens if like a time penalty or something? And he said that I don't get a time penalty, but if my opponent gets 2 minutes extra, and that's what they added.
Mm.
Because I was already surprised that they didn't took any of my time, but they gave their opponent time. Because yeah, he called for the arbiter right away, which is good. But he didn't. I think he didn't understand to pause the clock. So I was like, we have to pause the clock. He was like, no, I think. But I was like, we have to pause the clocks if we're gonna call the arbiter, right? Like because the we pause clocks. I think there's some miscommunication there.
That makes sense. And yeah, usually they would never take time off of your clock. They would only add time to their clock. So you were already in some serious time pressure, and it makes sense. I think he was trying to flag you. And I think that kind of played to your favor because all of your online speed chess practice really shone through, and we could see your prowess in low time. You played perfectly, and I think honestly, Phoebe, you were in your element after, if you could guess, the queen trade.
Yes, that I felt fine. I was like, oh, 30 seconds, that's fine.
That's more than enough time for Phoebe to convert.
Yeah, with no queens, I don't have that many moves to look around what the queen can do. So I can just move my other pieces that are more limited in moves. I was like, okay, this is
Yeah.
good for me. But yes, Sam said that if I had to move the queen, um, only I to make a legal move, Sam. So if I could have blocked the check with the queen, was mandatory to do that. But in this case, I could only move the king.
Yeah.
But otherwise, that would have been the case.
And PMD wants me to point out that you haven't lost with any of the North American commentators yet. So, and honestly, I haven't seen you lose, Phoebe. So, does this mean that I'm like good luck or something? Do you play differently when I'm commentating?
Yeah, you're a lucky charm.
Well, that's good to hear, and I'm happy to help out in any way I can. But I hope that you can use this game as a bit of confidence boost and momentum in your future games, and no matter how bad it gets, really, because like I wanted to ask you, when you tried to trade his knight and he took on g6, sacrificing his knight, did you consider that move, or when he played it, was that the first time you thought of it?
No, I consider it because it's an obvious move if he has checks on this diagonal, right? I didn't see anything really. If I thought maybe I was for a second I was a bit scared that he could maybe have a double attack then sacrificing knight and then queen check maybe to my other pieces, but all my pieces were defended, so I was not really worried. So I was maybe a little surprised when he played it, and then I did miss f5, I think, but
Yeah,
I
F5
didn't
was
think
not
it
the good
it
move though.
I didn't think that it did anything. But other than that, I thought the sacrifice would not work,
So
right? Or was I wrong?
so knight g6 was the best move by a lot, and he took a lot of time to find that move, and we were actually first surprised that he found it and played it, but also proud in a way that he was able to find this. But it turns out he didn't know why it was a good move, because there were many ways that he could have won from there. And he,
Because what is the follow-up?
so the best move, if you're looking at the stream, you'll see the position. It's rook takes e6, which forks the king and the queen. And after queen takes e6, he has then queen to g3 check, and the bishop will win your queen. That's the best tactic.
Oh,
But he could still
missed
win
that.
with other check. He could give queen to d3 check or queen to g3 check, and your king is so weak that this will still be winning for white, because he still has rook takes e6, and it's just opening up too much.
Oh, this queen b3 check. Because
Yeah,
I saw you could take with the rook and fork my king and queen. I thought I could just take the rook and then retreat queens, but I missed queen g3 check.
yeah, and queen g3 is, it's actually kind of easy to miss because there was a pawn on f3, right? So only recently had he pushed. And also, like, you're not calculating that queen g3 is check, because the king isn't actually getting checked there until after he takes. So it's easy to miss things in calculation.
Yeah,
And maybe we got let off the hook here, but I'm proud that you accepted the sacrifice. And there was a similar situation earlier where he played that d6 pawn move, attacking your queen, and you took the pawn.
yeah,
That also might have
yeah,
felt scary, and it took you
yeah.
a lot of time, I think, but that was the best move as well.
Okay.
So yeah, and then his attack failed, and then you just swung things around, and he no longer was using his time after that. I think after the illegal move situation, I think he might have been a little bit tilted.
Yeah, 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 I don't, yeah. I mean, I think it was not really a problem, the illegal move, which I mean, it shouldn't have been a problem because I just, make then the king move. He gets 2 minutes extra, but maybe he was taken by surprise that I accidentally did that. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe we could have handled it better. I don't know. But yeah, we haven't talked after the game, but I might seek him out to see if everything's okay.
Yeah, I think it's a frustrating loss knowing that you're doing so well, and I think like his knight takes g6 move is something he could be really proud of, and so to lose that
Mhm.
and to not be able to follow through, I think is particularly upsetting. So maybe less
Yeah,
so about like the illegal move or whatever, but just more so that he wasn't able to convert such a winning position.
yeah, maybe he expected a different move for me, or yeah, I don't think it was about the illegal move, really,
Yeah.
I think.
So how are you feeling now? Is this a good sort of change of events for you?
I'm happy with the win today. I hope to have 2 more wins, but that will be, I think that will be maybe difficult, but yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
So hopefully some other commentators can get a chance to see a Phoebe win, because
yeah, I hope so.
they deserve it. I can't hog all of them.
Yeah. True, you have the 2 wins. You have the 2 wins.
So far so good for me. But yeah, hopefully, like I said, you could carry this momentum into your future rounds and maybe get a little bit of
I hope so too.
confidence, because I think it was a rough opening. Um, but
Yeah,
it's not how you start; it's how you finish, and you had a great conversion.
yeah, 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 yeah. I think yeah, the opening was just a bit, yeah, I did not play that right, but yeah, in the end, I got lucky. We played very well. We found some really good moves, but hopefully tomorrow and Sunday, I yeah, then can have some better games.
Well, you've got 2 wins, and hopefully you can get 2 more.
Yes, I hope so. And thank you so much, Joe, for commenting today's game. I really appreciate it. Hope you had fun as well.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure and an honor, and always good to see you win or lose. Although I haven't seen you lose yet, but I think that ultimately we're all here to support you and cheer for you, and we don't necessarily care what the result is, as long as you're having a good time. We'll enjoy and
Mhm.
support you either way. So we're all happy, and
Thank you.
congratulations once again on the win. And we're looking
Thank
forward to
you.
your future rounds.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Are you gonna keep on streaming or do you want to guide the race to someone?
Now let's find someone to raid, shall we?
Okay, you can choose and I will yeah.
Mm, maybe the chat can help out as well. Maybe I see Hannah is playing with Agnes.
Yeah. 1 second, I'm on a call,
Yeah,
sorry.
that's what Alan said.
Um
Yeah, don't let me hold
yeah,
you.
okay.
Let's raid.
I'll
Let's raid
send the
Hannah.
rates to Hannah. Okay.
Great. All right. Thanks again, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks.
Take care. Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Bye. Bye guys. Bye chat.
Bye. All right, everybody. That was the one and only PhoebeWitte, and I will see you all next time. Stick around for the raid. Bye. Thanks, John. See you, Zion. Take care, everyone.